Hey, y'all, welcome back to Flippin' for Change. It's Kaylin. Hello, I'm on the other side of the lens this time, coming at you with a throwback to January of this year, 2025. So we're not throwing back too far. Thought I would do a what sold in the first 7 days, and then periodically I'll throw another what sold up of different time frames. But I did run a sale at the beginning of the year, trying to close out. If you've been watching, you know I'm trying to transition mostly to clothing, maybe like 70-30, 70% clothing, 30% all the other stuff, because there's other stuff that I really do still enjoy picking up. That's my plan, at least for now. It could change, you never know. But this is just going to be what sold when I had a big purge sale. So I did 50, 60, and 75% off a lot of different items in my store, just depending on how long they had been sitting. And I think a few other items probably snuck in here and there. I was just trying to purge some stuff and generate some income right after the holidays, if you know what I mean. So we'll just jump right into this item. Was the first one that sold in January, and it was a set of 2 vintage pillowcases. They were double-sided pillowcases by Bib Company, and they were from 1985, and those sold for $32. The buyer was all in at $37.01 and did not leave feedback, but I suppose they were happy, since they never did message me about any problems. The next item that sold was this cute little Charlene Cooper little resin Santa figure. You see how he's leaning kind of strange? Yeah, he leaned kind of strange. These, I think, were supposed to, well, this particular one, I think it was supposed to have an additional piece on the bottom. If you see right here, this looked like it was a little piece of a dowel that maybe had a separate piece that went in, because the idea of these on this little thing says that there's a hidden compartment for you to put notes, gifts, certificates, or small jewelry. So I feel like maybe that would have had something that would cover it up. A little stand that would attach, or maybe even just a smaller piece of wood that maybe swiveled so that you could open it. This one, oh my goodness. I just thought he was cute just to use on a tier tray or in your decorating. He looks like carved wood. He was resin, not wood, but I really thought he would sell much faster. I think I probably got this in my first or second year of reselling. So 2021, 2022. And he sold for $550. That buyer was all in at $1531. No feedback was left. This was a really exciting one. I was really stretching with this 12, and this is one where I priced and repriced and priced and repriced. These individually, these little frog band figures, you see one of them had a little, I think it was a manufacturer defect, but I threw it on there just because I want them to know there was a little frog missing a little toe, but he still played his bass just as fine and dandy as he always had. These little figures individually, it depends on the instrument they play, but I've seen them from 35 to almost 200 individually. It also depends on whether these are cold. They call it cold painted. A lot of the ones I saw that went for the higher numbers did not have the patina. As you can see, there was a lot of patina on these guys. I did not want to take that off. Where did I put underneath there? You could see that they were bronze. And all of that dark is the patina from the bronze. But they were reduced down to 300, and I did take offer of 200 on them. I picked these up way back in 2021, my first year as a intentional reseller. I found these at a Goodwill in a little baggie, and they wanted like $625 or something, $675 for the whole bag of them. And I remember standing there. I actually looked at them and put them back on the shelf, walked around the store, looked at other stuff, and was like, I just couldn't stop thinking about them just because they were so cute and they were heavy. I didn't know what they were at the time, but they were so heavy. I said, they've got to be something, right? But, back then, that was a lot to pay for something, to take a chance not knowing. Now you pay, like, I can't even get a pair of jeans at my local Goodwill for $6 and some change. But this buyer was all in for $232.09. No feedback left. I was really hoping to get some feedback because when I sell, I don't sell a lot of high-priced items, y'all. So when I do, I'm always cringy until I get feedback, knowing that they're super happy and super satisfied because I'm waiting for either the scam to happen or the charge back on the credit card. Then we had a little Gans Webkins elephant. He came in at $3. Buyer was all in for $7.80. No feedback left on this one, but that's okay. Most people, he actually did have, looks like he had his tag. Yeah, so he still had a code with him. These I can usually, with the code, get between 12 and 15 when they have their code. You see, I had him listed for 12, and then I think all of my plush items in this particular sale that I did at the beginning of the year, I think all my plush was 75% off. I'm not sure, but we'll find out because we've got more plush that we'll see. Some Ever After High dolls, and these little girls went for $6. You see that she has a little bit of marker or something on her arm and is missing a hand. So did not know that when I found these. I got these and 2 or 3 others in a, there's some more markings on that one, in a lot at the thrift store. They were all in a bag together, and I did not realize until after the fact that she was missing an arm. So, way back when I first started reselling these and what are the other ones that kind of look like these? I'm drawing a blank right now, but there's another, Monster High. Ever After High and Monster High dolls used to go for a pretty decent amount, depending on the doll. But, I wanted to get them out. So out the door they went for $6. Buyer was all in at $12.82. And this buyer did leave positive feedback. So, hey, there's something. This little guy, oh my goodness, y'all. You know, if you've been watching for a while, you've seen my little Bubba boy. I miss him so much, but every time I see a fox, I think of him. He just used to curl that little tail over his nose, and when he slept, he looked like a little baby fox sleeping. But this little fox, an Aurora fox plush with the original tags, this one went for 75% off at $2.50. Buyer was all in at $8.30, and they did leave positive feedback. I think I cleared like $2 on this when all was said and done, because the shipping, I had it at like a 12-ounce rate, and it ended up being like 4 ounces. And I don't, when I first started reselling, I used to refund shipping. I don't do that anymore. Now I just apply it towards the cost of my mailers, my tape, my labels, my boxes, my bubble wrap, all of that kind of stuff. So this was a 1933 Chicago World's Fair buckle, celluloid, and it was silver plate. So here's the back of it. You can see this is a silver plate, and it did, I think, is that where it says? I think it says silver plate right here. And then I did do a small scratch test on this. I do sell jewelry on my other channel, Flippin' Jewelry for Change. Shameless plug right there. But I did a scratch test, and it did verify that it was silver on there. Beautiful, beautiful buckle piece. I don't know if this was the original belt. A lot of my research, a lot of the other belts did seem to be this same style and shape. So I think it was, but y'all, look at the condition. If this was from 1933, I don't think somebody wore this very much at all. The condition of the leather on this belt was absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this buyer paid $36, and I think that was an offer that I took. You see, it was on sale for $44.80. They sent an offer for $36, which I took. They were all in at $46.02, and they also left positive feedback. And then we have another cute little plush that went 75% off. This cute Eeyore in his raincoat holding a little umbrella in his mouth. He did have his original tags. There we see he was originally $4.99, so the buyer saved a little bit of money. This is an Applause plush. Vintage, probably, if I had to guess, from the 90s. But there it was not dated anywhere, unfortunately. So $3 for this little Eeyore buyer was $8.66 all in and left positive feedback. Then we have a very plain, simple little black patent leather belt. Just the cutest, simplest little skinny. It's just one of those thin, skinny belts with a light gold tone buckle. That went 30% off. Oh, so this was, okay, I must have done 30 up to 75. I thought I did 50 to 75, but looks like I did some 30% off too. So this was $9.80. Buyer was all in at $15.31. No feedback received on this one. Just a little basic for the closet. Another Webkins. This was a fish Webkins. This one was $2 is how much I sold this one for. Somebody sent me an offer for $2, and I guess somehow he got missed in the 75% off when I was adding items to that. So, or it could be that this one came in right after that sale ended. I tend to do sales. I think I usually do sales, like I'll do a lower sale Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday, and then I always increase it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So maybe this one was after the sale had ended. But they sent me an offer for $2. He's a little bitty, teeny tiny thing. I don't know if I have him in here with there. Yeah, he was just a little less than 9-inch little fish plush. So I took that. They all in at $6.79. But y'all, I did the calculations on this one. I net a whopping 90 cents. I think there's been one other item since I started reselling that I took a loss on, and that was a mistake that I made in calculating shipping. I ended up taking a loss. But yeah, I think this ties the record for the lowest net profit that I've ever made on an item at 90 cents. No feedback left on this one, but I mean, how can you be mad if you got a little Webkins fish for $6.79 all in? For real. This one I have had forever and a day. I took a $3 offer on this one. Yes, y'all, I was desperate for sales in those first 7 days. Honestly, I wasn't desperate for sales. I was just desperate to get stuff out. So on these Wholesome Double 9 dominoes, I took a $3 offer. That buyer was all in at $10.22. I also did the calculations on this one because I was curious. I profited $1.34 on these. Definitely not something I would pick up again. Yeah, whopping $1.34, but the buyer left positive feedback, so I guess they were very happy to get them. I'm sure they were for $3, right? And then our last eBay sale for the first 7 days in January was this Star Wars t-shirt. Oh my goodness, how cute. Don't fly solo, bring a Wookiee. It is a Lego Star Wars youth shirt, size 6'7". That one went for $8.88 on a best offer, and the buyer was all in for $13.19, and they also left positive feedback. So cute. Is that just so adorable? Don't fly solo, bring a Wookiee. Sorry, y'all. I'm a bit of a Star Wars fan. And then we did have a few other platform sales. I do most of my sales on eBay, but we had a few others on almost said Webkins, on Mercari and Poshmark. We had this snakeskin belt on Mercari that sold for $12. Genuine snakeskin right there, you can see that, and nice little silver tone buckle on there. $12 was my profit. This was back when Mercari still had no fees for sellers. The buyer was all in on this at $21.46, and they did leave me a 5-star rating. And then this was such a fun sale. I messaged back and forth with the buyer. She had a few questions about it, which I answered. And then she was just so excited to get this. It was really fun to correspond back and forth with her. It did have some problems on the handles, most of them down here at the very bottom. These were like hard plastic, and at the very bottom they cracked, so they were showing this little metal spring thing underneath that formed the handles basically. But she loved vintage items and she loved to repair and rescue things. So she had a few questions and I answered them. She bought it for $20 and she was all in for $33.31. Let me get you over here to the tag photo so you can see that. I really couldn't verify the age of it. If I had to guess, I would say 80s or 90s, but it had a great 70s aesthetic to it. And I was super excited to send it to her. She was super excited to receive it. And she did send me 5-star review on that one. And then my only Poshmark sale in the first 7 days of January was this adorable little vintage gray mouse plush. He was jointed arms and legs, and he sold on Poshmark for $16. Buyer was all in for $25.65. I did have to wait for the Posh release on this one. They did not give a rating. I find that most people on Mercari and Poshmark, just like eBay, I actually think it's a little worse on eBay, but thankfully they don't hold our funds yet. I do think that's coming. But thankfully they don't hold our funds until we get reviews. But Poshmark and Mercari, I find that they don't really leave reviews. He had a little teeny tiny spot, to be expected. He was from the 80s. He had cloth ears and the pads of his little feet. So cute. Look at his little feet. I think he was in one of my recent Throwback Thursday videos. Look at him. Like, you could just hold him in the palm of your hand. He was so adorable. And I don't think this had CMC Inc. is all it says, 1987 on there. So isn't he just the most precious little thing? But y'all, that was my sales for January 1st through the 7th. And if y'all like this style video, let me know with a thumbs up and leave me some comments. How were your sales? How were they in January? How have they been? This is probably going to be one of the better what solds that you will see from me for this year so far. It's currently the 8th of March. And after the first couple weeks in January, y'all, sales tanked. Oh my goodness. They got so bad and they're starting to pick up, but they're just not as regular as I'd like to see them despite my efforts. But I'm looking at this thinking maybe I just need to run another 50, 60, 75% off sale. I hate to give stuff away like that, but if it clears out a lot of this other stuff so that I can make more room in my inventory. The problem is in my inventory storage for what is currently listed, I'm very limited on space to be adding clothing items. And that's why I was trying to get rid of a lot of this kind of stuff, because the more boxes I can empty, then I can refill them with the clothing items. So I've had a big focus on jewelry lately because I use a different storage system for those. But they are very slow sellers. I would put them up there like plush on the how fast or slow they sell. They're long tail items for sure. But let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Let me know how you are doing. And y'all will see me on the next one. Bye, y'all. Hey, y'all. Editing Kaylin here. I am working on editing this week's Throwback Thursday video, and I wanted to let you know you're going to be seeing this on Thursday, March 13th. My birthday is Friday, March 14th. So if you've made it all the way this far to the end of the video, you are getting inside information that I am having a big birthday blowout sale. 25 to 50% off almost every single thing in the store. So all plush is going to be 50% off. Other things will be half off as well, not just plush, but all plush for sure is going to be 50% off. So go check it out. The link is in the description below, and I sure do appreciate y'all watching and subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.